Alright, update on FITFI. So we've got a very interesting setup right now for FITFI. Let's start off with the higher time frames and then let's go down to the lower time frames. Bear in mind, most of our indicators have not loaded in for FITFI, as this has literally been something that's been trading for the past 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. So I really do think a lot of people are underestimating how much this can pop. The market cap of this is pretty decently low, and it is trying to compete with Step and GMT. Now, I see a lot of people hyping about this. I've got a Cowboy Trades Discord, and a lot of people in the Discord are already talking about dumping their GMT for FITFI, which just really does show, you know, that what I've been emphasizing when we do cover these move to earn tokens is that these are bubbles, these are fads, and these are going to be gone at some point in time. You know, not everyone's going to care about FITFI or GMT or GST, whatever the case is. I really do think these are something that are going to be here for a short period of time. We can take massive advantage of and then leave with our bags packed before, you know, the rest of the noob retail traders come in and try to pick up these move to earns when they're already completely oversaturated. Like I said, we're literally at a phase where some of these have only been trading for the past 6 to 8 days. Some of them have only just started to pick up hype. So FITFI, they've got a very, very interesting space on Twitter. They've got a lot of followers. They're stepping up with the NFT game, something that GMT has been a little bit lackluster on. On the 4 hourly time frame, like I said, you know, your indicators have really not loaded in that much, but you can see your short-term moving average at least has loaded in, and this entire uptrend is supported by your short-term moving average. So very, very nice that we haven't even necessarily come back down there. I'm not really a fan of using the 2 hour, but as I thought, the 2 hour defines this uptrend very, very nicely. I really do like what we're seeing here with FITFI. Let's come over to some lower time frames. So if we focus on the 1 hour to start with, I honestly think for now the 1 hour is probably the best thing to look at. And if you're a veteran to my channel, you know that I literally never look at the 1 hour time frame. It's always the daily, the weekly, and the 4 hourly. However, like I said, there is only so much analysis you can do on the daily when, you know, you've got data like this. So on the daily, exceptionally bullish. I mean, we're just seeing bullish pumps, and then we're seeing continuation. Like this was bullish pump, 3 days of accumulation, bullish pump. So far we've had 2 days of accumulation. What do you think? Do you reckon we could be out here in the next couple of days? I definitely think we could. I really do like the setup on FITFI. It is looking very nice. I mean, let's draw the macro trend. I'm interested to see. So I mean, wow. Let's see. So the first time we came back, you back tested your 0.5, didn't even come down to the 618. The most recent correction we've had is it didn't even make it down to the 382. So this is definitely some interesting stuff that we're seeing going on here. FITFI has had a face tear. I mean, not a face tear, but it's gone up a decent amount since we first talked about it. When we first made a video on this, we were down here. I think we were one of the first people that started doing TA on FITFI. I mean, I guess it makes sense anyway, because FITFI had only been trading for 4 days and 6 hours at the time where we made our first video. And, you know, granted, I did not personally pick up some FITFI down at these levels. I did pick up where you see this dark blue line. I literally just included this dark blue line so you could see where I entered the market. I wish I got in down here, but at the time when I first reviewed FITFI, I was looking at a plethora of different move to earns. GST, GMT, Gene, Move, Dose, DFIT, FITFI. There was a couple of others. Yeti Coin. And I swear there was like 1 or 2 more, but yeah, the point of the matter is I was looking into all of these move to earn projects at that time, and it does seem like FITFI was the winner collectively out of all of the videos that I did. Like literally every video, GMT, GST, Move, DFIT, Gene, Dose, I had 10 collective move to earn videos, and this one video on FITFI got more views collectively, probably 2 or 3 times the amount of views than every other crypto that I covered that was a move to earn that day. So it seems like the people have decided the hype belongs in the hands of FITFI. Since we started talking about it, it is up 38%, so congratulations if you got in on my first video. If you're also like me, and well, you know, if you're like me rather, and you got in on my second video when we were at 50 cent after we were having this back test, congratulations, because I mean, we were literally talking about this. We recorded when it was 52 cent. We said we would ladder in our buys at the 50 cent once we do come down to your short-term moving average. We came down, filled the buy, and we were just out of here. So I really do like what we're seeing with FITFI. We're constantly making a plethora of higher lows. So if we see here, you can see higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So I really do think we are gearing up for that big move to the upside. If we do draw on the short-term trend, because you can kind of see in the past hour or the past couple of hours or so, we're kind of struggling to break over the top of this, and this was panning out to be like a perfect W pattern, except we didn't make it to the neckline. We didn't break out, unfortunately. We are finding a little bit of a struggle right now. Perhaps if we come over into the lower time frames, we can really see what's going on, because I mean, it doesn't really look like too much. And I mean, this could have, if we had a wick like here, this would have been like a perfect inverse head and shoulders. But yeah, this isn't an inverse head and shoulders, unfortunately. Yeah, there's literally no way you can you can argue that, I don't think. If we come over to the 15 minute, it almost seems like we're bull flagging out of the most recent impulse. And on the most recent decrease to the downside, we retested your 618 fib. So I do think as long as 56 cent holds, then we do have the eventuality that we are going to have pushes back up to the upside. Now, looking at the 15-minute time frame, it does seem like we are currently getting stuck underneath these EMA ribbons. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I would be able to let you know when we do break out on this. However, I do recommend you join the Discord, because we will be keeping an eye on this, and I will make an update the second we do break above what I consider the most important neckline. If we hop out, I don't think there would be anything else. So you've got your 2.618, and then we previously were drawing from where this could have been the neckline on this W pattern, but it doesn't look like the W pattern is playing out. So I would imagine a linear resistance would probably be the best way to define the downtrend. So obviously, until we get above here, we can't really be overly euphoric for a breakout. However, looking at this just quite objectively, looking at it at a slightly higher time frame, like if we come over to the hourly, I honestly really don't see us falling out of this uptrend. I really do think this uptrend is very solid. We have had a tiny bit of lackluster volume today, so I wouldn't necessarily say now is the best time to get in if you haven't already got in. If you weren't already in, I'd be looking for a breakout trade, and that would be, you know, I would imagine it probably could come today if we are going to break out. If we're not going to break out today, I imagine we're going to chill tomorrow and then probably break out on the 4th, because like I've been saying, we've got a Fed meeting between the 3rd and the 4th of May, and I really do think a lot of these cryptos are going to see very mundane price action while we are waiting to get out of this phase. So Bitcoin is still chop nation, it is break even. If we look at what's going on with the general markets, I mean, the stock market is trying to have a slight pull up today, but we're coming right back into the resistance that we broke down from. So why would you care about that, as this is a FITFI video? Well, if the stock market is doing terrible, then it's going to make Bitcoin perform terrible, and that's what we've been seeing. The stock market's been performing terrible for the past week, which is why you're seeing Bitcoin go into this downtrend, which, I mean, I could say, which is why you're seeing your altcoins do bad, but it seems to be that these move to earns just do their own thing, and they do not care what any other crypto does. So if I was you, I would personally be setting my alerts on TradingView so I get notified on a breakout of the 60 cent region. I think a breakout trade of 60 cent could be a very, very nice trade in my opinion. However, at this time of recording, I do think we are incredibly bullish. I do think we are gearing up for a big move to the upside. However, I would just be slightly cautious, as we have already had this huge move. We are consolidating, and while we're being extremely bullish, we're consolidating in these hourly EMAs. These are very, very risky cryptos. I would just sit on the sideline, wait until we break above 60. If you want to DCA at this level, then, you know, do whatever you want to do. I DCA'd down here at 50 cent because I thought that, you know, this could easily do a couple of X. I would definitely imagine that this could come up to at least 82 cent within the next week or so. I really do think that this is, you know, this is going to be a bubble trend, but a lot of these are going to have huge rallies before we're out of the blue, and we do move on to our next until we do move on to our next crypto fad. So that is all I've got for FITFI. Looking at this on the daily, just to wrap everything up, this price action that we're seeing right now is very exceptional. You know, we've got huge impulses, consolidation, huge impulses, consolidation. I think we're gearing up for that next impulse to the upside. If we look at the 4-hourly time frame, like I said, pretty much what we're seeing on the daily, but you can also see your short-term moving averages, the 21 EMA on the 4-hour, is very much holding up this uptrend. So even if we do have a breakdown, it's actually nicely coming into where I DCA'd at the 50 cent region. It's coming in between 50 and 51 cent. We've got strong support there on the 4-hourly time frame. On the hourly time frame, in my opinion, it does look like we are gearing for a break to the upside. While this W has not played out perfectly, I am really impressed with the fact that even in the most micro fib that we can draw, you didn't even make it down to your 618. Every time we have these corrections, we come down to like a 0.5 fib and bottom out. And you know, the only time we came down to the 786 is when I have to cherry pick an ugly, very small move, which I guess wouldn't do the trend any fair. I guess if you were to come over to the hourly time frame, considering we've just had a dip like this, we're not running off micro impulses anymore. So I'd say probably running off your most recent macro correction, as macro as you can get. You know, you're below, or you're above rather. You're above literally everything you'd want to be above, and then fully macro trend, you're literally above everything. So I think FITFI is definitely a very nice looking chart. I'm personally not going to be looking to get any more FITFI. I got myself a decent amount down these ranges at 50 cent, but I'm definitely going to be holding on to some higher price targets. I don't think FITFI is going to be something that I'm going to sell until we at least come up to 82 cent. That is personally my price target. That would be a move up of 63%. That could be a very nice trade in my opinion. So wrapping up the FITFI video, I think all the time frames look very nice, and it's only really when you come down to your absolutely lowest time frames you can see that these EMA ribbons, specifically on the 15-minute, are your #1 area of resistance right now. However, I do think once you get above that 59 cent region, you'll get enough momentum to break above 60 cent. Like I said, until we do that, I would not be picking up at this level. I'd be sitting on the sidelines and either waiting for a correction where you can DCA, or getting in on the breakout trade of 60 cent. Because like I said, these things run off pure euphoria and pure hype. I like the setup on FITFI. Let me know what you think down below. How many of you are invested in this one? As always, none of this is financial advice. It is just my opinion on the market. Cowboy out. Peace.